Here's a sentence I never used to say to people in the Eastern Suburbs. Should you buy off the plan? For most of my career, it wasn't even a question out here, but it is now. And before anyone signs a contract for an apartment that doesn't exist yet, there are a few things I'd want them to hear. So let's talk about it. Welcome in. I'm Alan Weiss. I've been selling property across Sydney's eastern suburbs for more than 30 years, and this is the episode where I talk about buying off the plan, the risks, what I recommend, and the one mistake I'd most want you to avoid. Now, why is this suddenly relevant out here? For a long time, the East was built out, the stock was established, and a buyer was choosing between houses and the occasional boutique block, not a lender on a hoarding. That's changing. Rose Bay, Double Bay, Woollera, they've all been flagged as town centers, and the planning settings point to a lot more apartment stock arriving over the next 3 to 5 years. A good deal of it is aimed straight at downsizers, people who want to stay local but step out of a big house. So it's become a real conversation, and I want to be clear up front. I'm not here to talk anyone out of it. Off the plan can be exactly the right move for the right buyer. I just want to make sure that if you do it with your eyes open and some money in reserve. Let me start with the trap most people don't see coming, because it arrives right at the very end. When you buy off the plan, you agree a price today and you settle years later. And here's the catch: the bank values that finished apartment at settlement, not on the day you signed. So if the market has softened in between, the valuation can come in below your contract price, and the bank will only lend against the lower number. Whatever's left over, you have to find in cash. In a flat or falling market, I've seen those shortfalls run anywhere from 5 to 15%, and they're worst in the oversupplied pockets, where some banks quietly cap how much they'll lend at all. That's worth sitting with right now, because the wind is against this kind of bet. The figures have Sydney's upper quartile values down nearly 2%. The city overall is sitting about 1% below its November peak, and the Reserve Bank has put rates up 3 times this year. So a contract you signed on cheerful 2025 numbers can look quite different by the time the building tops out. One more thing on this: don't lean too hard on a pre-approval. A conditional yes when you sign is not a guarantee of finance years later. The bank looks at you and at the property all over again at settlement, by which time rates have moved and your circumstances might have too. So plan for settlement day, not signing day. That single habit will save you more grief than anything else I say today. The second risk has been getting worse, not better, and that's the builder simply not making it to the finish line. These aren't small numbers. AC counted around 3,600 construction insolvencies last year, after 3,200 the year before. For some time now, construction has made up about a quarter of every company collapse in the country. The worst of any industry. It isn't just small operators. Firms of real size have gone under and left buyers with frozen deposits, lost time, and a half-built shell. Your deposit does sit in trust, which helps. But if a developer falls mid-build, you can be in for a long, uncertain wait. So the lesson is this: you are buying the developer as much as you're buying the apartment. Their track record, whether they're financially sound, that's the homework. Now here's the part of the conversation nobody enjoys. So I'll just be plain about it. A brand new apartment is not automatically a good one. The Building Commission research in New South Wales found serious defects in the common property of 53% of strata buildings registered recently. 53%, up from 39 just 2 years earlier. The usual culprits are waterproofing and fire safety. Now, in fairness, the same research shows defects trending down since 2020, and the rules have teeth now that they didn't have a decade ago. The Building Commission can order a developer to fix serious defects for up to 10 years, There are statutory warranties 6 years on major items, but better odds are not a guarantee, and a regulator's backstop is no substitute for checking who's building your home before you hand over your money. Quickly, on sunset clauses. Because every off-the-plan contract has one, it's a deadline by which the project has to finish. In a rising market, a few developers played games with these, dragging construction out to cancel your contract and resell at a higher price. New South Wales has since closed much of that door. A developer generally can't tear up your contract now without your consent or a court order. But get a good solicitor across the sunset clause, the variation clauses, and the finisher schedule before you sign. Check what's actually enforceable. And now the big one. If you remember nothing else from this episode, remember this. Don't let an off-the-plan purchase hang on what your current home will sell for. It's the most natural plan in the world for a downsizer. Sign for the apartment now, sell the family home closer to settlement, use the proceeds to complete. In a rising market, it works. In this market, it can squeeze you from both ends. The price on your contract is fixed, but the sale of your home is not. If prices have eased by the time you go to sell and the prestige is easing, the equity you were counting on may not be there. You can end up selling your home into a soft market on someone else's clock, or carrying expensive bridging finance, or both at once. So the rule I'd give you is simple. Don't sign a contract whose completion depends on an uncertain future sale at a price you've only assumed. Either you can settle without selling, or you sell first, or you go in with a conservative figure, a cash buffer, and a clear plan. Hoping your home fetches a good number in 2 years' time is not a plan. It's a gamble. So to bring it together, buy the developer, not just the apartment, get a solicitor across the contract, stress test your finances for settlement day, pay for a proper defect inspection. And whatever you do, don't tie the purchase to your home's future sale price. Off the plan can be the right decision. It just asks for diligence, and it's unforgiving of optimism, never more so than when the market's drifting down. I'm Weiss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.